Okay, so this used to be where I worked before. This is another huge mall. Actually, it's my favorite mall. It's my favorite mall in Shenzhen. I love it. And if you see up there, this video is kind of about, it's a brief well, okay, let me start from the start here. You see that billboard up there on the wall where the lady's lifting some weights or whatever? Right under it is an English school, another branch of Web International English. This is in Baoan. The Baoan, you know, if you're use English pronunciation, you call it Baoan, but if Chinese pronunciation is Baoan, and it's a suburb of China. I lived out here for 1 month shy of 2 years, essentially 2 years, and I can tell you, this particular school on the inside, I've got some videos. It's like one of my first videos I put on this channel. It's kind of a party. You can go back and look at it, but you'll see how modern it is. They even have iPads, like a row of 7 or 8 iPads that everyone can use to practice their English. They've got special software installed on it, the whole deal, right? In addition to the desktop computers where they study. But I came here because I have a bank account over at China Merchants Bank, and in order to to take credit card payments internationally and have them remitted to my Chinese bank, after quite a bit of wrangling, etc., at least on the United States side, I've got things set up at the basically, so I had to come out here because of that, and they had moved the China Merchants Bank from across the street. It used to be over there, and they moved it into the mall, which is a good move. It's but I mean, you can see you know, I'm speaking about these things as though you know, on a very, you know, this used to be where I lived. This was my home for basically 2 years, and it's really it was a nice place to live, and it was a terrific place to work because there's just so many good restaurants in that mall, and it is totally completely air conditioned. I like the mall out, the Metten School, where I am right now. That's terrific too. That's wonderful. It's not quite as good as this one. And the super good deal I had on my apartment, you can't get that out there. This place is actually a little cheaper. Now I'm not talking about the one-room place where I am. I got that, but just generally real estate out there is slightly more expensive. I don't know if the manager of this school, if he actually, they removed him from management because myself, an Australian, and a guy from Ireland and a guy from London, England, we all teamed together to just hammer this guy. He was a piece of shit. And actually, I left this particular school because of him. And after I left, 2 more foreign teachers left the school. Okay, and citing him as the reason. Okay, and you know, his name is I'm going to tell you his name. It's Kai. His name is Kai. So if you end up applying out at this school, you know, it's a small world. You never know. If you come down here, you know, just make sure he is not your manager, your foreign teacher's manager. They canned him because after I left, 2 other people, and a Canadian and another American guy, just walked out and said, fuck it. You know, this guy is too difficult to work with. He's abusive. He's a slime ball. He's a snake. He's passive aggressive. He's slippery. He's like an eel. And that's what you get from a lot of these managers. But at any rate, I just, aside from that, you know, aside from that, I really liked working here, and I really liked this neighborhood, and I liked the mall. Okay, and I liked the fact that it was so air conditioned and cool. And another thing, I also like living out in the suburbs here a little more than where I am now. One thing I like more about it is, for example, I'm walking distance from a number of banks. I'm walking distance from, if you go up that way, literally of 2 football fields, there's a totally awesome bookstore, right? So, oh, and I'm sorry, there's also a bookstore right across the street. The selection isn't the best. It's a wonderful selection for dictionaries. But, and there's another smaller mall across the street there with a really super cheap, good Italian restaurant. Living out in the suburbs, and the salary was the same here as with the other branches of Webb International English that are in closer to the city. Exact same salary, but it's a better place to live. And things are cheaper. Everything's within walking distance. And so I really think that my one suggestion I'd make is that you keep that in mind. Keep that in mind when you select the school you work for. You know, and when I don't mean just the particular brand, the company itself. I mean the branches within the school, because inevitably you guys are going to, you'll get on with some school. It could be Wall Street English, it could be Webb International English, it could be Metten, it could be EF, any of these different big ones, right? And where they actually send you, whether you know that or not, is not set in stone. It normally is not as set in stone as you might think. Okay? For example, because my apartment was out near this place, okay? My apartment is about a 10-minute walk from here. Okay, a 10-minute walk from here, right up next to a park where you can look out and it's all green, right next to a subway station. Is fucking ideal. So I twisted their arm, and after about 2 or 3 months, they transferred me to this school because I was teaching at yet a different center, okay? And I stayed here for a long, long time. And I enjoyed it thoroughly. I thought it was terrific. Again, given all the factors, given all the things, there are many things that made me like living here a lot. And it certainly wasn't due to just one factor. You see, there's air conditioning, right? You see what I mean? Okay. Well, I need to go to do something else. See you guys later.